After Charleston, we arrived in Beaufort, and right before we entered the bay, our impeller broke, so towboat had to come out and bring the part and hand it to us so we could motor in instead of being towed in. So we pulled into Beaufort, and we went up to the anchorage, and there weren't any places to anchor because our boat is so big. So we had to tie it to a rickety old fuel dock. We were looking for different options, and we met the owner of Towboat US in Beaufort that lives in a little harbor called Nasty Harbor, and he offered us a dock slip. We went over to his place, and in the process of redocking our boat at his marina, we crushed the bow of the dinghy between the boat and a piling. So we had to, Rod helped us out, and we had to pull it out of the water and repatch over the spot that it had gotten squashed. After docking at our new slip, we discovered that it was a little shallow at low tide. We had about 2 feet that we were coming out of the water, sitting on the bottom. And I think we freaked Rod a little out because it was threatening his docks a little bit. Might have torn down his docks because it's 50 tons and that's a lot of weight on those pilings. So I met John, one of the employees at Towboat US, and he took me out on one of the rescue towboats that goes far offshore, and it's a jet boat, so it has buckets on it, and it's a pretty extreme boat, mostly bulletproof, and going 36 miles an hour, you can throw the buckets in reverse and stop in about 10 feet into a dead stop. So that was a lot of fun, and I was really glad he let me drive the boat and take it for a spin around Beaufort. So after we got to know Rod a little bit, he introduced us to one of his friends, and we all went to this guy's property. And he had a little pond in his backyard, and they go swimming in it and stuff. And they had a big backhoe, so they makeshifted a rope swing attached to the top of the backhoe, and he'd swing you off the backhoe. Super, super hillbilly. We called it the hillbilly hoe. So spending a month in Beaufort, we got to check out a little bit of the surf, and Finner and Rod were always, taking us out to some of the outer barrier islands or in the Morehead City or that kind of thing, and would take us out surfing, and we'd always be, in the middle of working or something and be like, no man, this swell's awesome, so we'd have to go out and go surfing and, paddleboard and do the whole thing, so that was good fun. So Rod got us tickets to this pirate ball, and everyone had to dress up as pirates. That was the only rule. So we all had to, makeshift some uniforms, I guess, pirate uniforms together. So I think out of everyone, the girls had their gypsy outfits and stuff. I had something I had put together. But I think my dad had the best costume. He looked like a deckhand. He had been, shot and skewered and dirty and dreadlocks and all sorts of crazy stuff. So, well, there were two pretty popular bars / pubs, restaurants that we could go to that had a lot of live music. Backstreet was one of them, where Christina played, one of Rod's really good friends, and she let me play during her break, which was really cool. So a little bit of live music. And then also the Wine Bar was another restaurant that we could go play in, and they had an open jam session. While we were there, we met a woman named Graza, who lived on a boat with her boyfriend, and she's from Brazil, so she was like, I told her that I like to cook, so she said, well, maybe I'll make some, shrimp dish one night and teach you how to make it. It's like a curry shrimp pineapple with rice, and really, really good. So she came to the boat, and we made that, and it was really spicy, but oh man, it was some of the best food I've tasted. So that was quite a fun thing, and that's one cool thing about traveling as well. You get to see a lot of new different foods depending where you are and everything. So before we left Beaufort, we had to take down our topmast a couple feet so we could fit underneath the bridges going out the intercoastal. So we had to dock the boat at Morehead City so we could get a crane to come and lift it out so we could add some extra parts so we'd be able to take it down a little bit. And while we were doing this whole thing, we met a guy named Art, and the Crane Man, and really nice guy, older guy, and just very, very friendly. Took us to his house one day for lunch and showed us around his whole house. We had lunch, ate, played some music at his house for him, and just really nice guy. I'm glad we got to meet him. It's kind of funny the people you run into. So at the end of the month, we were ready to go. We had the topmast all ready, taken down a little bit, and said bye to everybody. Had the last, party at Rod's house, and got to say goodbye. And then we were off. Went under our first bridge, and we're heading north up the Intercoastal. And everything went pretty well to plan. So that's Beaufort.